We begin here at 5 p.m. with the weather on a number of fronts. We are tracking a big change in the track of Hurricane Irma. But first, there are some storm concerns back here at home. And Ben is a very busy man tonight, covering what's happening down south and what's going on with us.
That he is. We want to start with some storms beginning to pop up here on 4 Live Radar. Ben?
Yeah, Kim and Devin, this pales obviously in comparison to what's going on in Florida. In fact, we actually need this rain that's coming down on top of us right now. Could do without these lightning strikes, but we're not anticipating any severe weather. These storms got a little bit of a downpour there towards Auburn Hills. These are moving to the east at about 25 miles an hour, so they're not going to stick around all that long. City of Detroit heading towards the Grosse Pointe. You're going to get wet here pretty quickly if you're not already. And we've got more to go, not only during the evening, but also overnight. So let's talk about Hurricane Irma. The 5 o'clock advisory is in on Irma. The current stats don't change. It's still a Cat 5, 175 mile an hour winds. These are slightly lower than what we were looking at yesterday, but very similar to what this storm has been all day. It is going to rake the Turks and Caicos, move just to the north of Cuba. This is the point where the Hurricane Center says it's going to go down to a Cat 4 at 155 miles an hour, but not a whole lot of change. Still a catastrophic hurricane. It makes the right turn like it has been doing. This is a 2 o'clock position, and this is where the change starts to come in. Sometime very early Sunday, likely before the sun comes up, hurricane force winds starting to reach the Keys in South Florida. The center of the current forecast track here at 5 o'clock is a little bit further left, a little bit further west than what we were seeing earlier. And this follows a lot of the model guidance, which is going that way, and that is not good news for Florida. 2 p.m. this is onshore, and watch what happens. No reemergence in the Atlantic. The center of this track keeps it over the state of Florida, so there will be no re-intensification. It's going to continue to weaken to a Category 1 hurricane by 2 o'clock on Monday. Still could be huge problems for Georgia and the Carolinas, but at least it's not going to make another landfall, and then we'll be worrying about the effects of it on us as we get into the middle of next week. We'll have more on Irma and our forecast coming up, guys.
And so that's looking ahead. For now, Hurricane Irma shows no signs of weakening as it's already ripped through parts of the Caribbean.
Yeah, the storm is as big as Texas in terms of surface area. Yes, the entire state is what we're talking about. Let's get you caught up on the latest here. We'll start on the island of St. Martin, where officials there say 95% of the island has been destroyed. On Puerto Rico, 70% of the households on the island have no power.
And as Irma turns toward Florida, mandatory evacuations are underway. It looks like Miami, the state's biggest city, is poised for a direct hit. Sarah Rosario is there tonight. Sarah.
We still don't know the exact path Hurricane Irma will take, but local leaders are warning residents to not take any chances and to get out now while they can.
It's images like these fueling the urgency for millions in the strike zone. Hurricane Irma's first victims.
In fact, I'm of the view that as it stands now, that Barbuda is barely habitable.
Destruction in Puerto Rico too, and 1 million people left without power after a glancing blow from the Category 5 storm that's setting its sights on the Bahamas.
We could see a little bit of weakening as it potentially interacts with land and moves farther north into some higher wind shear, but Irma is going to remain a dangerous hurricane for the next several days.
That sense of danger setting in as residents all across southern Florida get out.
We're evacuating. 5's a little too scary.
Mandatory evacuations in the Keys, more than 30,000 have fled. The entire southern Florida coastline under a hurricane watch.
The potential tidal surge could be 8, 9, 10, 12 feet. We saw what happened in Houston.
An exodus that's clogging major roads in Florida, leaving stations without gas.
We know fuel is very important. While we're making progress, you will see lines or outages, unfortunately.
And shelves bare into the Carolinas.
It is too soon to know how North Carolina will exactly be impacted, but it is not too soon to get ready for it.
As Hurricane Irma continues its march toward the mainland.
With more than a third of gas stations in South Florida completely dry, the good news is more is on the way. The governor here has requested for federal wait and time restrictions for truck drivers to be lifted so they're able to get much needed gas to this area. Reporting in Miami, Sarah Rosario, Local 4.
All right, Sarah, and as Irma slowly turns toward Florida, many in the storm's path are headed here to safety in Michigan. Hundreds
of people getting off flights, talking about the nerves and the panic that is setting in back home, hoping the storm doesn't wipe out their livelihoods. Let's bring in Sean Lay, who is at Metro, and you met up with a family who came in from Miami. Sean.
Very busy day here at Metro, Devin. That family from Miami, they have ties to Ann Arbor, U of M specifically, their alums. 36 hours ago, they made the critical call. Plane tickets for mom, dad, and their 4 kids to get here to safety. They don't know when they'll go home. They don't know what they'll find when they get there.
Because of the Hurricane Irma, it's crazy in Miami. The airport was crazy, 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 crazy.
Maria Skull is a Miami mom fleeing the crazy airport in Miami for the calm of Detroit Metro. She says it's chaos right now in Miami with so many trying to flee Hurricane Irma.
3 employees of American Airlines, including a supervisor, told us her flight was canceled. We almost missed the flight. And then it turned out we checked in the computer and we finally were able to get out to board, but many flights were being canceled.
Maria flying in today with her husband Jose and their 4 children, all 10 and younger, all packed up.
Everybody's talking about it.
The family is headed to Ann Arbor to stay with friends. Jose went to school at Detroit Mercy and U of M.
There is no water, you know, there are big lines to buy water. There is no gas. There is a big line to get the gas if you're lucky.
He's a dentist in Miami. This is Jose's office. Windows all taped up, equipment all wrapped up. And look at this. Another mom in Orlando sending this video to Maria as they went to the airport in Orlando. Look at the miles of cars. Families looking to get to safety.
Everybody's in panic now.
Panic mode indeed. When Maria bought those tickets early Tuesday morning, they were around $280 for each family member. By Tuesday night, Miami to Detroit, the fare had gone up to $700. Many airlines putting a cap on fares now to try to help people get out, but it's chaos at that Miami airport right now. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll talk to people from Metro Detroit in Florida now that can't get out. Devin, Kimberly, back to you.
Yeah, that's been an issue. But Sean, even security here at Detroit Metro being impacted by the storm.
Here's why. Miami, people have to evacuate, including TSA workers at the Miami airport. They have to go. So TSA members here in Detroit and other airports around the region flying down to that area to get in place to go in and help out to keep that airport going to get as many people out as possible.
The ripples run in so many directions. All right, Sean. And our coverage of Irma will continue both here on air and online at clickondetroit.com.
Yeah, there you can find a live stream from our Miami sister station, WPLG. They are in continuous coverage as Irma heads toward Florida. And Hurricane Harvey's destruction is catastrophic, and Irma has the same potential. To help, Local 4, Click on Detroit, Art Van Furniture, and the American Red Cross Michigan region are joining forces.
Hosting the Telethon Help for Hurricane Relief Tuesday, September 12th from 6 a.m. until 8 p.m. Money collected will be donated to the American Red Cross relief efforts for certainly the hurricane devastation that's already occurred in Texas and what will be needed, we assume, in Florida.
Yeah, the money will provide shelter, food, emotional support, and other assistance to those affected by these disasters. Tune in to Local 4 all day Tuesday for the Help for Hurricane Relief Telethon. Our other top story tonight, weeks after a sexual assault in May, Highland Park police were hoping a sketch of the suspect would lead to a break in the case.
But it would be something else weeks later that helped them make an arrest that led to formal charges today. Jason Colthorpe in Highland Park with more on the key for police here. Jason?
The key here, Devin, was a hit on the DNA evidence that was collected from the scene. Of course, that was in late May. Here we are in September. But, you know, that evidence takes a while. The MSP crime lab has to deal with thousands of cases. It finally was able to analyze this evidence, and it spit out the name of a known felon, Keontae Passmore, and it led to 4 charges today.
State your full name for me, please.
Keontae Passmore. Keontae Passmore arraigned today on charges he robbed, raped, and strangled a woman on her way to work in the morning hours of May 27th.
During the commission of the felony of assault with intent to grave bodily harm. That's a felony. Maximum penalty is life.
Police say it was a crime of opportunity, given the desolate industrial area of Manchester and John R., where it happened.
When she wouldn't respond to his small talk and wanted to keep walking to work, he attacked her, pulled her into an alley, assaulted her physically, and then sexually assaulted her.
As weeks turned into months with this case, a sketch was released, which helped, but finally it was a DNA match that was the key for police to make the arrest. It goes a long way for public safety, but unfortunately not enough for the victim of this brutal attack.
She's recovered physically, I guess you could say, as far as she had some abrasions and some bruising and things from the attack that she had. But mentally, I mean, it's a process. She'll carry this for the rest of her life. I'm just glad that our department, the city of Highland Park, the officers that work here were able to come to her aid, put the hours in that was necessary in this, and come to this resolution where we're at today.
And they emphasized that a lot of man hours involved here, going from late May to September, but never letting this case go cold. He's also charged with stealing her cell phone and being a habitual offender. That's because of 2 prior felonies, of course, where he had to submit that DNA that led to the break in this case. We're in Highland Park. Jason Colthorpe, Local 4.
All right, Jason, developing right now, a crash on Detroit's west side after a driver jumps a curb onto the sidewalk.
It happened this afternoon on Oak Field, right near McNichols. Our Tim Pamplin is there.
We're at McNichols at Oakfield this afternoon. That's 6 Mile Southfield Freeway, Detroit's west side. There you see the remnants of this crash. I'm being told an elderly gentleman driving that red pickup in the middle there suffered a heart attack, lost control, crashed into those 2 vehicles and pinned a pedestrian under his truck. Let's go upstairs to Sky 4, take a look down on the scene. The driver of that silver vehicle there, that was said to be a middle-aged lady. She's in temporary serious condition, bumps and bruises. The pedestrian that got trapped under the pickup truck, said to be in more serious condition, waiting for a condition on that man. But again, to recap, elderly gentleman has a heart attack, loses control, crashes his vehicle into several other vehicles, runs over a pedestrian. The investigation back down here on the ground, just getting underway. Next of kin just being notified. That is the scene on the west side. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
All right, Tim, we're just getting started here at 5 o'clock.
That we are, and we have a lot more coming up in the next hour, including President Trump making a surprise deal with Democrats, and let's just say the GOP isn't too happy about it. And Detroit police lending a helping hand to folks more than 1,000 miles away.
But first, a big controversy in the small town of Memphis, Michigan. A major decision now leaving the fate of the city's police department in limbo. A closer look next. The Local 4 defenders tracking a big new development in the case of Macomb County Jail inmate who died after overdosing on prescription pills.
Plus, he's no stranger to trouble with the law, but you may be surprised how much prison time this man is facing for stealing $50 and some candy.
Well, the little town of Memphis, Michigan has been dealing with a big controversy involving the police chief.
Few doubt that Chief Cal Loria has turned the town's department around, but when he moved with his family to Grand Rapids and tried to telecommute, things started to sour. And now, as Paula Tutman explains, the Memphis department is once again in limbo.
Drama-free zone. That's what the soon-to-be former police chief of Memphis, Michigan says he wants for a town he loves. Without question, the majority of people who know where Memphis, Michigan is are ones passing through quickly and loudly on Main Street. But there are 1,100 people who live here and love it here, like Heidi, who thinks this small rural city deserves a police chief who wants to be here and wants to stay.
Somebody that's going to stay with us, somebody who loves Memphis as much as the rest of the town. Maybe, you know, somebody local that wants to come home and take care of the community.
Chief Cal Loria says he wants that too. He took over the post a little more than a year ago and by many accounts turned a troubled police department into one with credibility and purpose. But when a family move to Grand Rapids meant he would need to move an additional 3 hours away, initially, he wanted to work long distance in an administrative capacity, only commuting to Memphis once a week and for special occasions or emergencies. But he's had a change of mind.
I felt that with the city not being completely behind it, meaning the residents, they didn't deserve any more drama coming upon the city. And I thought it best to tender my resignation.
Tammy owns the Doghouse Tavern on Main Street, and she was willing to give the suggestion a try.
The next guy coming in, you know, let's see what he can do, and hopefully we'll get somebody in here for the long haul.
The resignation is official, but not completely official, because while it's been tendered to the police commission, it has not been tendered to city council yet. They still have to vote on it. I'm told by a city council person that they still have some questions to ask, like how does this work? How do they move forward? But for all intent and purposes, it's a done deal. Memphis has a shingle out that says, wanted, police chief. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
All right, Paula, and the chief says 3 resumes from very qualified candidates have already been submitted. He doesn't think it'll be long before there will be a new permanent chief.
All right, let's get back to Ben, who has juggling a number of theaters at the moment. But let's start with our own right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've been trying to keep the water away from Florida, and we want some of that, and we're getting it right now. So this is not entirely bad news. It's just timing-wise, not working out real great with the afternoon commute, but we've got thunderstorms that have moved through the area. A lot of the heavier rain right now has crossed the river and is over into parts of Ontario. We still got a couple showers up there in Oakland County, and likely we're going to see these raindrops around even longer than we have in the last couple days. Remember, everything's kind of died out once the sun set in the past couple days. That's not going to be the case tonight. We'll see those lingering into the overnight. So it is a cool 55. That rain dropped temperatures even further than what we had seen. West-northwest winds are at 13 right now, and we will be seeing at least a chance of showers as we get through the evening and even into the overnight. That low is going to be on top of us after midnight, so that's going to provide just a little bit more lift. So expect to see at least some shower activity, although it will probably wane after 12 o'clock. That's going to linger into tomorrow. On the backside of that low, we could see some showers as we get into the noon hour, maybe early afternoon. That's mainly going to be on the east side tomorrow. Then high pressure takes over, and we're all good to go. Temperatures slowly recovering as we head into the weekend. And as we head towards next week, of course, we will be watching Irma and what happens with that storm. Just an absolutely impressive satellite shot as you're staring right into the eye of Irma as it is just now starting to move towards the Turks and Caicos. What an incredible sight. The central dense overcast is kind of spread out from that eye. You can see the cloud tops are a little bit more ridged around that eye, indicating those stronger thunderstorms. You can even see some of the vortices inside of the eye wall from that satellite shot. Just an amazing look into that storm. But we talked about the track of Irma. I want to talk about the intensity. Everything that we've shaded in red is 80-degree water temperature, and you can see some of these spots in the purple, upper 80-degree temperatures too. That's just jet fuel for this hurricane. So weather-wise, meteorologically, there's not a whole lot that's going to slow this storm down. The only thing that really will is if it interacts with land, and right now if it continues to follow the center of the National Hurricane Center's forecast path, other than running into some of these small islands, it's not going to run into a lot of land, and that is not good news for Florida. So even though the official intensity has this thing as a Cat 4 when it makes landfall, there is a possibility that Irma could be a Cat 5 when it gets to South Florida. So again, there's not a whole lot to slow it down. And when you start looking at the categories, this is what we call the Saffir-Simpson scale. You start getting north of Cat 2 into the 3 and 4. That's where we see extreme winds, devastating damage. Category 4 is what we call catastrophic. Houses still on their foundation, but definitely get demolished. And then once we get into 5, that's when stuff just starts to disappear. So this is not good news for Miami. We'll be watching that closely throughout the next few days. 50 degrees tonight as the thunderstorms diminish, and we will get to a high of 65 here tomorrow. 7-day forecast finally brings the 70s back by Sunday, and we'll hit the mid-70s by Monday and Tuesday. Still got some chilly mornings, which for football, not too bad there on Saturday and Sunday.
I feel like that this weekend, isn't it? Yeah.
All right, Sandra?
A new report finds women aren't getting enough sleep, but that's probably no surprise to you. Coming up, what's to blame besides our busy lives that has so many women tossing and turning? Devin?
All right, Sandra, but first, she definitely didn't dig up a tree stump. The incredible thing a woman found on a farm, in fact, the one she grew up on in Michigan, next.
Welcome back. Today, a 2-vehicle convoy is hitting the road on a 1,300-mile trip. And here's the really cool part. That convoy is a loaded semi and an RV full of Detroit police officers headed to help in Houston. Our Tim Pamplin was there as they were sent off.
And with that, the 26,000th pound of charity is loaded on this big rig, about to set off down south. Not only the semi, but this RV, with about a dozen Detroit police officers that said they had to do something for their fellow men and women in blue. This effort, the brainchild of Lieutenant LaShawna Potts. She asked around, finally mentioned it to Chief Craig. His response was,
come up with some ideas and we'll put it together, and this is what we came up with.
Again, 26,000 pounds of essentials heading straight to the precincts around Houston. And there was one thing high on their wish list.
Bug repellent was a big request because of the standing water that's out there. Sunscreen, we have some snacks for them, we got some things for babies.
Many of the first responders in Houston and elsewhere, their houses and their livelihoods are destroyed as well while they're protecting and serving.
Chief Craig says the law enforcement community's bond is strong.
one day it may be us. And I am certain that when that day comes, if it comes, that our friends and our colleagues from other places will come out and help us.
So with that, the convoy sets off. They're going to drive through the night. They expect to arrive into Houston this time tomorrow. That's the scene. Downtown Detroit, Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
And what kind of help is going to be needed elsewhere now after this weekend?
You got that right. Yeah, but great to see him going down there.
Friends indeed. We'll be back with more in just a minute.
New at 5:30.
A monster hurricane making its way towards Florida, hundreds of flights and many cruises being canceled. What should you do if you have plans for a trip? I have the latest information in my Help Me Hank report.
A sad day for North Korea. That's the warning from President Trump today, but with a more diplomatic approach.
Finally, there is light at the end of the tunnel. One of Detroit's largest road projects hits a major milestone.
Is there a...
It's the construction project that's caused way too many traffic headaches. But tonight, there's major progress to report on the Rouge Bridge. Downriver commuters have already been dealing with it for months, and there is still a long way to go. But finally, there's some light at the end of the tunnel.
Well, it's been a long tunnel. Kim DeGiulio was on site today and shows us what's been done and what is still left to do.
Earlier this year, the southbound lanes of I-75 downriver closed down between Springwells and Northline to completely redo the Rouge River Bridge. I came down here today to check out the status of this major construction project.
Today is the last day of removal of the southbound bridge deck,
which means they're halfway done with the southbound side and about 25% done with the entire project.
This deck was sawed into pieces and then picked up and hauled away.
However, once the southbound side is finished, southbound I-75 commuters will still not be able to take I-75 until the entire project is finished.
When the deck is completed, northbound traffic will utilize a crossover to drive on the newly constructed southbound side while the northbound side is fixed.
The mile-and-a-half bridge that was originally built in the 60s is one of the biggest projects Michigan has ever seen.
We've never worked on a bridge this long and done this much concrete.
The total project also includes 11 more bridges for reconstruction.
Those bridges include I-75 over Eureka, Northline, Allen, and the northbound junction from Telegraph.
Once it's finished, it should last for up to 50 years, with occasional maintenance.
This is the best in the way of technology in terms of new concrete, so we should get a nice long life out of it.
As far as the timeline goes, they are right on schedule. They're expected to be finished by December of 2018. Reporting here on the Rouge River Bridge, I am Kim DeGiulio, Local 4.
And importantly, MDOT says so far this massive project is coming in right on budget.
All right, we're in the Weather Center right now with Ben, tracking the very latest with Irma as just thousands and thousands are fleeing Florida at this hour.
And we keep looking for anything that will give us some comfort, as maybe Irma's not going to be as bad as we thought, and it just doesn't look like it.
Looks like Miami's really in trouble.
Miami does look like it's in the bullseye. So here's the latest on Irma, and that satellite image just looks monstrous. That eye, which sort of wobbled and wasn't exactly symmetrical earlier today, now as it gets towards the Turks and Caicos, you can see it's almost a perfect circle. As it starts to tear into some of those islands there, just not good news, as this is at a Category 5 strength. You've seen those pictures that have come out of some of the Leeward Islands earlier in the week where Irma has done some damage. We showed you the track earlier. I want to show you the wind field. This is the extent of tropical storm force winds and how wide that is. So as we go forward in time, we've kept the times on here. In fact, once we get into Saturday morning by 2 a.m., tropical force winds almost reaching the Florida Keys. So we will be seeing hurricane force winds on South Florida probably as soon as Saturday evening, even though the center of that storm is still out into the Caribbean. It will finally make landfall somewhere in South Florida once we get into early Sunday morning, but you can see how wide. In fact, the entire peninsula of Florida will have hurricane force winds no matter where the center of that storm ends up, as it continues just moving right across that Florida peninsula. By 2 o'clock, most of South Florida will be under hurricane conditions. So we'll keep on top of it and have the latest coming up, guys.
I'm Hank Winchester. We're live here at Detroit Metro. I'm keeping a close eye on how travel will be impacted by the hurricane. Within a few days, flights from Detroit down to Fort Lauderdale, West Palm Beach, Key West will all be impacted. Many flights will be canceled. Right now, what is already being affected? Travel in South Florida, specifically the cruise line industry. Take a look. Irma closing in and already having a big impact on both the airline and the cruise industry.
It is Mother Nature, and she's taking over, and it's a lot of challenges.
Pam Nikitas with Joan Anderson Travel in Detroit has been hearing from clients who have cruises booked this week in the Caribbean. Unlike the airlines, the cruise industry runs by its own set of rules when it comes to issuing refunds or canceling trips altogether.
If you're online and you're booking something yourself, you're not going to sit there and look at all the fine print. Just as if you're booking a car online, you're not going to look at all the fine rules about insurance. If you have a cruise or a trip booked out of Florida, call either your travel agent or the cruise line directly. Depending on when and where the storm hits, could determine what refund or discount you may end up with. They will give you the full refund, but they might give you 50% credit on your next cruise.
And in the future, if you book a Caribbean cruise during this time of year, make sure you purchase insurance to protect that investment.
The first thing I advise clients is that from June up until Thanksgiving is hurricane season. You're taking a chance.
Back out here live at Detroit Metro, there was a Carnival and also a Norwegian cruise that was leaving South Florida this morning, making its way to the Caribbean. Obviously, those plans were scrapped. Both cruise ships left the port of Miami, but changed the course, making their way up instead, up the Atlantic. We're live here tonight at Metro. Hank Winchester, back to you.
Hank, what about the airlines? Are they putting a plan in place for refunds or rebooking?
They are, Karen. In fact, as soon as the governor of Florida issued that state of emergency, the wheels started turning. People really need to keep a close eye, especially with Delta flights, as to what's happening. Right now, flights tonight from Detroit to Miami, Fort Lauderdale, West Palm, they're still scheduled, but we expect that to change overnight. So if you're heading down for whatever reason, make sure you get in touch with the airlines before you make your way here to the airport.
All right, some good advice. Thank you, Hank.
It would be a sad day for North Korea. That's the warning from President Trump should the U.S. choose to take military action there. Still, the commander-in-chief had a more measured approach to the regime today as he continues to forge an unlikely political alliance back here at home. Blaine Alexander has more from Capitol Hill. Blaine?
Well, Devin, today we certainly heard a big difference from those fire and fury comments that we heard just a few weeks ago. Today, President Trump said that when it comes to North Korea, military action is certainly an option. It's just not his preferred option.
President Trump today with a more diplomatic tone toward North Korea, despite the country's latest demonstration of nuclear strength.
I would prefer not going the route of the military, but it's something certainly that could happen.
In a joint news conference with the leader of Kuwait, President Trump said military action is not inevitable.
Hopefully we're not going to have to use it on North Korea. If we do use it on North Korea, it will be a very sad day for North Korea.
President Trump addressing a conflict abroad while forging an unlikely alliance at home with Democrats.
We have a great respect for the sanctity of the debt ceiling. And Chuck does, and Nancy does, and we all do.
Amendment is agreed to.
Today, the Senate easily passing a measure to raise the debt ceiling and help victims of Hurricane Harvey, tying together two issues over the direct objections of Republicans.
He was interested in making sure that this is a bipartisan moment while we respond to these hurricanes, and he made that clear, and I think that's what his motivation was.
This morning, President Trump tweeted this assurance to DACA recipients. You have nothing to worry about in these next 6 months, no action. The House's top Democrat, Nancy Pelosi, happily taking credit.
This is what I asked the president to do, and boom, 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 the tweet appeared.
Now both parties are wondering whether this is a new way of doing business for President Trump.
And despite that new political turn, today we saw an old cloud resurfacing. Donald Trump Jr. today testified on Capitol Hill about that campaign season meeting he held with a Russian attorney. Today's interview behind closed doors lasted nearly 5 hours. In Washington, Blaine Alexander, Local 4.
All right, Blaine. Massive mastodon bones unearthed on a farm right here in Michigan.
Mary Osterbahn says the remains, 2 large bones and possibly a jawbone, were found on a farm she grew up in Byron Township. The bones were sent to the Museum of Paleontology at U of M, where experts did confirm they are mastodon. The experts are now working to determine more information about them. No word yet on what the property owners plan on doing with those bones. Pretty cool.
Pretty good find.
Yeah.
Not bad. Now to good health. A new report finds a lot of women in their 40s and 50s are seriously sleep deprived.
More than a third are not getting sufficient rest. Our Sandra Ali is here with a closer look at reasons why. We figured since a mom of 4 with 2 newborns would probably add a little perspective.
Let's talk about lack of sleep. How about that, Karen and Devin? Well, some of the reasons are obvious. Women are busy, they're working, they're taking care of children, maybe even caring for elderly parents, and also managing a very long list of other responsibilities. But experts say physical changes also play a big role, especially for a certain age group.
It's an eye-opening report on just how little shut-eye women really get. The National Center for Health Statistics finds 1 in 3 women in their 40s and 50s are not sleeping enough. Many have trouble falling asleep. Others can't stay asleep.
Our ability to function, focus, and performance is definitely impaired when we have sleep deprivation, either acute or chronic.
Hormone changes leading up to and during menopause appear to be a factor. Hot flashes, night sweats, and mood changes can all disrupt sleep. The report finds sleep problems tend to increase the closer a woman gets to menopause, but they don't end there. Postmenopausal women are the least likely to wake up feeling refreshed. Sleep experts say, make sure your bedroom is dark and cool, and be careful not to eat or drink anything too close to bedtime. It's also important to log off long before your head hits the pillow.
We recommend that at least half an hour before bedtime, we really need to take a break from electronic devices to be able to then fall asleep naturally without using medications.
Most adults need at least 7 hours of sleep each night, preferably 8.
And it's no surprise not getting enough sleep increases your risk of heart disease, diabetes, depression, also memory problems. So if you can't get enough rest, it might be a good idea to talk to your doctor about some possible options to help manage your symptoms, or try to make some other changes that may help as well.
That's the thing. It's about so much more than just being tired. I mean, it really has this impact on your overall health.
It does.
Yeah.
And it's hard to break that cycle, too.
And those interruptions, too, with the newborns.
Yes.
Sure. The older ones where they come knocking on your door.
Exactly.
Lots
Any of that
of
help?
interruptions.
Yes, because you're not sleeping now.
No,
no way.
I'll be sleeping in like, what, 3 decades?
Yeah.
Waiting for a while.
Later.
We'll check back.
All right, Sandra.
Thanks, Sandra.
Well, it could be one of the biggest busts of its kind.
New tonight, what a group of thieves was able to steal from malls that ended up costing over $20 million.
And are you ready for some football? Ben Bailey's over there doing cartwheels. You may be too. The NFL season kicks off in just a few hours, but it's happening amid a lot of controversy. We'll have a closer look at that next.
This week, new at 6.
You know, you're just not yourself when you're hungry. It might make you do strange things like break into buildings and vending machines, but life in prison for a candy bar? We'll tell you about it.
When it comes to the Lions, there have been plenty of rainy years, but I tell you, I've met one of their biggest fans.
Do you think you spent a lot of money on these Lions? Was it worth it?
Every bit, every dime.
We'll reminisce with George Sharp, who's had Lions season tickets for longer than some of us have been alive.